All clear. Come. Here's the gravity disk.
Where's the car?
No car is necessary. The beam carries you up.
You sure? It's a long way down.
Watch.
Boy, ain't that something. Hey, Dentro, wait for me.
Come along. The council chamber is at the end of the corridor.
We're almost there. You hear that, Dentro?
Now, this is the most dangerous part of all. These walls are all patrolled. We must be watchful.
I'll check the rear. You and Marlowe watch ahead.
Come. Here comes the guard. Back, quick.
Who's there? Stop!
She's seen us. Come on.
I'm with you.
Stop! I'll disintegrate you! Stop! You can't get away!
Hey, where's Dentro?
Marlowe, give me your belt, quickly.
Well, up there he is. He got the guard. Come on.
Here's my belt.
Yeah, here's mine, too. You think anybody hurt her?
Let's hope not. There, that'll hold her. It's lucky I grabbed her. If she came around that corner, she'd have had us sure.
Yeah, what do we do with her?
There's a storage room up the hall. We leave her there. Now, let's go under the chamber. I'll soon have to leave. It's almost time for me to report to Rura.
Hey, boy, this is some council chamber. Hey, guys, I'm sure glad we got rid of that guard or we'd never have made it.
Now, you can conceal yourselves behind those hangings.
Yeah.
But I must go now. Good luck.
We can use it. Thanks for your help.
You are brave men.
Yeah, that goes for me, too. So long, Mala. Well, Dentro, here we are, right in the middle of the soup. You better think of a mighty convincing argument for that council.
Well, our two friends are certainly on the spot. Will they even get as far as to tell their story to the Marty Council? We'll be back in a moment. So, level up. When we left Danto and Slats, they were in the highly secret council chamber of the Mardi, having been guided there by their newly found friend Mala. We find them now hiding behind some drapes in the chamber.
These drapes make a good hideout, Slats.
Yeah. Hey, listen to what's coming. Oh, brother.
I asked you to come a little early, Gaza. I wanted to talk to you before the rest of the council came. What do you want to talk about, Haru? About those two men from across the galaxy and their request for help. The council has already decided. What is there to discuss? Your attitude, Gaza. My attitude? You're our most brilliant scientist, Gaza. I admire your intelligence. I thought you, of all people, would see the wisdom of helping them. It's because I am intelligent that I insisted the council send them away. I don't want our social order changed. But sooner or later... You sound like a frightened child, Haru. We have nothing to fear from them, Austin. Our science is centuries ahead of theirs. I see it will do no good to reason with you. I will not change my mind, and don't try to reopen the matter before the council. You know our rules forbid it. Don't try to teach me the rules. I was teaching them before you were born. Perhaps it's time you let someone else teach them. Well, never mind that now. Here comes the rest of the council. Good morning. Let us get to work. What's this? What's happening? Members of the council, hear me! Quiet, hear me! Everyone. Where are the three men? Three men? What is the meaning of this? Three men. They assaulted me, locked me in a storeroom. I just got free. Who were they? I didn't see them. I'm sure I heard them come in here. I don't see them. Now, just a moment. There's only one place they could hide in here. Get your ray gun ready, guard.
That won't be necessary.
Who are you? What are you doing here? It is forbidden. There's another one. Burn them down, guard. Hold your fire. At the law. Guard. I am still head of this council. Hold your fire, guard. Give me your disintegrator. Now go outside and close the door. What is the meaning of this? You know the law. They must die for their insolence.
Your laws do not apply to us.
I hope.
Who are you? Explain yourselves.
We are the two strangers who asked your aid to help our people.
Just as I suspected, you see, I was right. They can't be trusted. Quiet, Carter. Who brought you two here?
I cannot tell you.
Well, we will find out quickly enough. What do you want? You think you can force us to help you? I demand they be executed at once. Why do you waste our time, Haru?
I know you have many things to do, but hear us for just a moment.
I've heard enough. I have a ray gun of my own, and I'll do what must be done. Hold it, Gaza. Or you'll find out I can still shoot straight. But the law... Perhaps it is time we change the law. Speak, stranger. We will listen.
And so you see, if you do not help us to defeat Marston, sooner or later, he and his evil allies will reach even here.
What you say makes sense, Planet Man. Do you agree, Council? Yes, we agree. How about you, Gaza?
If the rest agree, I won't oppose them.
Very well, Planet Man. You and your friend wait outside while we work out the details.
We will, Haru, and thank you. You will not regret your decision. Come on, Fletch.
Wow, it worked. What a relief. I don't mind telling you, I was worried, especially when that Gaza pulled that ray gun.
So was I, Fletch, but our worries are over.
I sure hope so. You know, I don't trust that Gaza. She hasn't changed her mind about us a bit.
The rest of the council on our side, we don't have to concern ourselves with Gaza.
Yeah, I guess you're right as usual. Boy, won't Marston get a jolt when we turn the heat on him?
Well, that's one moment I'm really going to relish. Yes, Gaza.
Come with me.
Hey, wait a minute. What's going on?
Don't worry, man from Earth. I'm not going to hurt you.
I'm not worried about anything you can do, but I thought the council was going to help us.
So they are, and they designated me to do it.
You? I don't get it.
I happen to be the chief scientist of the Mardi. And now, if you think we've wasted enough time...
Where are we going?
To my laboratory, where we will prepare to act against your Marston.
Of course. We'll be glad to come.
Dentro, I don't like this. You may think I'm silly, but I tell you, I just don't trust this gal. Council or no council, we got to watch her every minute.
Is Gaza and the Mardi Council to be trusted? What is in store for our friends? We'll be back in a moment, but first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. You will recall that Planet Man, Slats, and Gaza, chief scientists of the Mardi, were on their way to Gaza's laboratory to plan an attack on Marston. Slats distrusts Gaza and warns the Planet Man.
Dantro, there's something fishy here. Before she was ready to ray us down. Now all of a sudden she's on our side.
Keep your voice down, Slats. She may overhear.
Okay, but watch her.
I will. The important thing is that the council is with us. Gaza will have to go along.
Hurry along. I thought you were anxious to help your people.
Right, Gaza. Is the laboratory very far from here?
It's in this building on the lowest level. We'll use this gravity drop.
Here I go. I'll never get used to these invisible elevators.
Amazing. I won't pretend to understand what most of these devices are, but you obviously have a wonderful lab.
Yeah, you're not kidding. This place looks like something out of one of those old-time science fiction movies back on Earth.
You will find that there's very little fiction about this setup. All of these devices work well.
Yeah? Which are the ones we're going to use on Marston? That's what I'm interested in.
That will depend, of course,
Depend on what?
on my estimate of the situation.
On your estimate. I thought the council...
The council left it up to my discretion as to how and when we would act.
That's just dandy. See, Danto, what I told you?
You have some objection to working with me?
Well, not at all, Gaza.
But I...
You see, Gaza Slats is just anxious to help our people.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly.
Then why delay me with conversation? Shall we proceed?
By all means. What's our first step?
We will observe the actual situation in your home system.
Marston rules the roost. What's to observe?
You forget we have yet to see for ourselves what has happened. So far, we have only your estimate of the situation.
You think we're lying?
On the contrary, I believe you are both telling the truth as you see it. But as a scientist, I have often encountered observations which were sincere but highly inaccurate.
That's just a fancy way of saying you don't believe it.
Go right ahead, Gaza. I can understand your viewpoint, but as Slats points out in his own way, Marston gains in strength every moment, and we've lost precious time already.
We will use this machine.
That looks familiar.
It's a spy ray, like the one we found on Mars, Slats. The design is different, but it functions the same way.
You are right, Planet Man. See?
Hey, that's a welcome sight.
That's our own solar system is seen from about 500 million miles away.
I wasn't sure of the exact location at this moment. Now, if you'll direct me, I'll focus on your planaria rex. Now, is this it?
Yeah, that's it. If you don't mind, I think I know the theory well enough to manipulate the controls of the ray, and I can focus it for you.
I am fully capable of following directions, Planet Man. Just tell me what I ask.
You're touchy, aren't you?
Yes, I am touchy when it comes to taking orders from obvious inferiors. Make no mistake. The Council has ordered me to help, and so I shall. But I do not agree with their decision, and I do not relish this contact with either of you. Now, if that is clear, which is Planaria Rex?
You can't see it even with that machine. It's somewhere between the orbit of Mars and Earth at this point. If you come into that area between the third and fourth planets, I'll be able to get its approximate location.
Very well.
Bingo, that was quick. Hey, look, there's old Mother Earth. We're practically in my backyard. Gosh, that makes me homesick.
If you follow an elliptical course from the point where you've now focused, Gaza...
Just like this,
Yeah, exactly. Now, hold it. Come back a bit. There now. Magnify the central portion of the screen.
You did it, Dantro. It's Planaria Rex on the button.
Is that large group of buildings the headquarters?
Yes, Gaza. Will you come in on them?
That's really a sight.
I find them rather primitive.
Yeah, you would. They look good to me.
Hold it, Slats. There's something going on in front of the League Assembly.
Yeah, there sure is. Look at that mob. They're looking at something over toward the steps.
I'll focus on that area.
Slats! Look, it's a firing squad.
A firing squad on Planaria Rex. What can that mean? We'll be back in a moment. So, level off. When we left Danto and Slats, they were in Gaza's laboratory. We find them now as they are watching some strange goings-on Planaria Rex through the use of Gaza's spy scope.
You're right, Dantro. It is a firing squad.
I don't like this.
Is that your usual way of punishing criminals?
As a matter of fact, it isn't. We haven't used capital punishment for many centuries. But I don't think that squad's waiting for a criminal.
Can't quite figure out what they're saying.
They're angry, whatever it is.
Yeah, let Marston call him a shot. You can be sure it's bad news.
Focus on the firing squad, please, Gaza.
Like this?
That's it.
You recognize anybody in the squad?
No, but I didn't expect to, Slats. None of the regular guards would be a part of this.
Boy, listen to that crowd.
They're angry, all right. Must be about that firing squad.
Yeah, if it weren't for that guard, they'd rush him. Look, even with those mobile ray batteries, they're having trouble.
Look, the crowd's pointing and shouting.
Someone's coming out at the top of the stairs to the headquarters building.
Come in a little closer, Gaza.
Hey, listen to that crowd, will you?
He's going to speak.
Huh?
People of Planaria Rex and of the League. If any of you makes a hostile move, the guards have orders to use their rays. Your anger amuses me. You are helpless before my power, and you know it. I have warned you and your representatives in the League. I have made examples time and again, and still you resist. Marston wants to help you for your own good. It is for your own good Under Marston, this system will reach and rule the stars.
You see, Gaza? It's as I warned you.
Let us hear him.
What's to hear? He's howling like a mad dog.
Nevertheless, I would like to listen.
But you are all fools. A few have seen the wisdom of Marston's way. Others have dared to resist, even tried to rebel against my administration.
Look, Danto, over there.
Yeah, one of the crowd has a ray gun.
He's firing at Marston. Had a boy, whoever you are, burn him
The
down.
fool, whoever he is. Look,
Marston must be protected by a force screen. The ray isn't reaching him at all.
What's he doing?
just what he could be expected to do. That's why I said whoever fired at him was a fool.
No, even Marston couldn't do a thing like that.
He's ordering the guards to turn one of those mobile ray batteries on the part of the crowd the beam came from.
Gaza, can't you do something to stop him? That's going to be a mass murder.
I am not ready to act yet, Planet Man.
What do you mean you're not ready to act yet? What are you going to do? Wait until Marston wipes out the whole solar system?
Your emotionalism fails to impress me. As I told you before, I am a scientist, and I will decide for myself what to do and when to do it.
Look, there goes the battery into action.
No, I can't look.
It wiped out that whole section of the crowd.
Look, the rest are dead silent.
Now, perhaps you'll believe what I've told you, Gaza. You can see the kind of man Marston is. You've heard him say himself that he plans to conquer the galaxy. Don't you think you've seen enough to act?
Yeah. Don't you think you're carrying this scientific approach a little too far?
I will act when I am ready, and not before.
All right. I've had enough.
Just a minute, Slats. Look, the crowd is looking toward the entrance of the plaza. Will you focus your beam in that direction, Gaza?
Certainly.
Hey, they're bringing someone out. Must be the victim.
Now, Marston's speaking again. Listen.
Now that whoever it was that dared attack Marston is taken care of, we can proceed with the purpose of this demonstration. I have called you here today and ordered the League communications to carry what happens here to the outermost rim of our system. I want everyone to see once and for all that the will of Marston is not to be thwarted.
What's he talking about?
He's talking about whoever it is they're bringing out to the firing squad.
Hey, can't you focus his fire ray a little closer? Maybe we can see who it is.
It would do no good, whoever it is masked.
Yeah, you're right. But, he looks familiar.
Yes, he looks familiar to me, too, Slats. I'm just hoping it isn't who I think it is.
You think it is some friend of yours?
I had rather not guess. But be prepared to do something.
I told you before I will not take orders from either of you.
Crowd is really kicking up a fuss.
Look at the way they're trying to fight their way to whoever it is the guards are bringing through.
Only they all wouldn't shout so much, you might be able to hear what one of them is saying.
There goes Marston again.
In a moment, you will know who it is. I'm going to make an example for all the solar system to see and know. I warn you again that any attempt to interfere with my soldiers will be punished as this last attempt was. Not just by the death of whoever lifts his hand, but by the death of many of you.
Here now, they're backing up whoever it is against the wall.
They're taking off his mask.
Look, he can't be... Tell me I'm wrong.
No, Slats. It's as I expected. That's Judge Augustus. And Marston is going to execute him unless we do something to stop it.
Judge Augustus is at the mercy of Marston, and Zancho and Slats at the mercy of Gaza. Will she interfere? We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Danto, the Planet Man. troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro the Planet Man fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. Slats, Dantro, and Gaza, the chief scientists of the Mardi, were in the main laboratory watching Planaria Rex through the spy ray. They had just discovered that Marston was about to execute Judge Augustus as an example to the rest of the solar system.
Gaza, you must act now.
I have told you before, I will not act until I am ready.
How can you just argue with this crazy woman?
I've stood all I can. Either she does something or I'm going to forget that I'm a gentleman. For once, Gaza, I agree with Flats. I will not stand by while a kind, great man is destroyed as long as I have the power to save him.
Are you suggesting that you will use force? Do you dare think of raising your hand against one of the Supreme Council of the Mardi?
Supreme Council, my neck. I don't know what you're up to, but I'm sure if Haru were here, she'd order you to do something. I never did trust you. No, I'm sure I was wrong.
Where are you going?
I'm going back to the council chamber. Maybe they'll listen to me.
Stay where you are. I warn you. If you leave this room, you'll regret it.
Look, Gaza, let's get something straight. The last thing I want is any trouble with you. I respect your desire to assure yourself of the situation before any action is taken. But surely you cannot expect us to stand by while Judge Augustus dies.
There is one thing I might be willing to do.
Yeah, what's that?
I could put a protective screen around Judge Augustus.
You mean a force screen? Marston will be able to burn through it sooner or later?
You underestimate the power of our weapons, Planet Man. The type of screen I could surround your Judge Augustus with would resist the puny power any weapon your Marston could turn on it.
I don't know what you're up to, but believe me, you better do something, because threat or no threat, I'm going into action.
Hold it, Flat. That might be the solution. You think you can do it, Gaza?
I do not make idle suggestions, Planet Man. I would not have offered to do it if I was not sure of its success.
Well, whatever you're going to do it quick. That firing squad is just about ready to act.
Very well.
Have you done it?
Watch and you shall see.
This had better work, Gaza, or there's going to be some fireworks around
If
here.
you'll be quiet and watch and listen, you may learn something, although I doubt that you are capable of it.
There goes Marston again.
Now I am ready. You see before you powerless and at my mercy your Judge Augustus. I have warned him and you time and again what would happen if the League continued to thwart my efforts. Now your supreme leader will pay the penalty for your stupidity and rebellion. Silence! Perhaps your beloved leader has a few last words to say. Speak now, Judge Augustus, or I shall promise you will never speak again.
Gosh, look at the judge. Here's a real brave guy.
I never doubted that this was the way Judge Augustus would behave.
Look at Marston. He's really burning.
Very well, Judge Augustus. You have made your choice. Now you will die. Firing squad, execute the prisoner.
Oh, brother, look at that. 12 ray projectors turned on him and nothing happened.
Just look at our friend Marston.
What treachery is this? I gave the orders to fire. Did you not hear me? Fire! What is wrong? What is wrong? What? A force screen. Who is responsible for this? Get the direction finders at once. We will track down the course of this screen and destroy it. Meanwhile, we have an answer for that. Turn one of the mobile batteries on him. That will burn through any screen.
Gaza, if you really think your screen will hold against that battery, those rays are big enough to bring down a ship at 10 million miles. They can burn through almost any force screen I ever heard of.
It is not necessary for me to repeat what I told you once the screen will hold.
I hope you're right, Gaza.
I am never wrong.
They're going to turn it on.
Turn it on, I say. Turn it on full strength. Aim every ray of the battery directly at him. What is it? How can any screen withstand the power of a full battery of rays? Very well. Up another battery.
Gosh, this is getting pretty rough. You sure that screen will hold, Gaza? Are you sure it'll hold?
We've got to trust Gaza's Slats. She knows what she's doing.
Oh, if you expect me to thank you for that last statement, you're badly mistaken. I am always right.
I hope I can agree with you soon.
What sort of plan is there that Gaza is apparently following? How long will it be before she takes direct action against Marston? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Danto and Slats, they were watching Marston's attempts to execute Judge Augustus via the spy ray in Gaza's laboratory. For the moment, Judge Augustus is safe, having been surrounded by the protective screen of the Mardi. We find our friends now as they try to find out from Gaza why she won't take direct action against Marston now.
Okay, so Judge Augustus is saved for the moment, Gaza. But you can't keep that force screen on him forever, and the minute you cut it, Marston is going to destroy him.
I think it's time we had some understanding, Gaza.
What do you mean by that?
I stood by patiently while you watched for yourself. I tried to assure Slats that your methods were to be respected, but now I'm not so sure.
What are you saying?
1 minute you're bragging about how smart you are. Now all of a sudden you're acting stubborn. You know what he's saying? He's saying we don't trust you.
I am not interested in your opinion of me.
But I am, Gaza. I hoped we would be able to reach a friendly understanding.
Are you threatening me then?
You can interpret it any way you like, but you'll have to make up your mind.
Have to make up my mind. I have reminded you and this other person several times that I am only tolerating the two of you because the council wishes it. I've had enough. Leave the laboratory.
Leave the laboratory? What are you talking about?
Just a moment, Gus. I don't think you know what you're saying.
I know very well what I'm saying. My orders from the council were to act, but to act as I thought proper and when I thought proper. You are interfering with my duties. I've been patient long enough. I'm telling you for the last time. Get out.
Look, Danto, you can do what you like, but this gal has pushed me around long enough.
Wait, Slats.
Wait, nothing.
Stay where you are.
Hey, what's that she's got?
If you move a step closer, you'll find out, although you probably would never know. For it will leave nothing but a few specks of dust.
You wouldn't dare.
Wouldn't I, though? Just try me and find out.
I think she means it, Slats. You better not try anything.
Now you're showing some intelligence. Show a little more. And get out, both of you.
Come on, Slats.
You mean we're going to leave her and leave Judge Augustus the way things are?
You may not like it, but I'm afraid you will have to trust me. I will look after your precious Judge Augustus.
Yeah, I know the way you look after him. If we hadn't been here in the first place, you would have let Marston burn him down without lifting a finger.
Just a moment, Slats. Gaza, was it your idea to bring us here to the laboratory, or did the council order you to?
The council does not order Gaza. No one orders Gaza. They suggested I bring you here. But I have decided that I've had enough for the last time. So get out. Get out. Get out!
Come on, Slats. Come on, Slats. Let's go.
Okay. But if she tries to pull anything while we're gone, dust or no dust, I'm going to forget she's a woman.
Come on, Slats. What are you doing?
I'll be there in a moment.
What are you up to over there?
Don't get excited. I'm leaving. Well, now that we're out of there, where to now?
Back to the council chamber?
You going to tell them what happened?
I certainly am.
Think it'll do any good?
I don't know, but it's hard for me to believe that they could approve of what Gaza's doing. Certainly intend to find out.
You remember which way it is back? We made so many turns, I'll be darned if I can remember.
I think perhaps I do. Come on, we'll try.
Hey, wait. Somebody's coming.
Look, Rura.
Hey, Rura, boy, am I glad to see you.
What's the matter? What are you two doing here? I understand the council has decided to help you.
They did, Rura.
And I heard that Gaza was told to aid you in every way.
I don't know what she was told, but she certainly has her own interpretation of what that means.
That's putting it mildly. If what she's been doing is helping us, I'd hate to have her want to hurt us.
I don't understand.
We want to go right back to the council chamber. I'll explain it to you on the way.
It will do no good. The council will not be in session for a while. I'll take you back to your quarters. Come on.
Well, that's it, Rura. At first I thought Slats was just being stubborn, but now I'm beginning to wonder whether Gaza isn't up to some kind of treachery.
That's hard for me to believe, Planet Man. She is stubborn and egotistical, but I do not believe she would disobey the orders of the council.
I don't know what you'd call it, but if they told her to help us, she was hardly doing that.
But you said she did save the leader of your league, Judge Augustus.
Yeah, she saved him so far, but it wasn't her idea.
Is this so, Planet Man?
Well, I thought I'd made it clear that Gaza wasn't going to do anything until I insisted.
That's true, you did say that, but I just don't understand it.
Look, Rura, you're a very nice person, but I don't very well see how we can stand here and talk while that gal stays in the lab. Every minute we're talking may mean Judge Augustus and a couple of million other people back at home are wiped out.
I don't think Slats is exaggerating, Rura. Marston was enraged almost beyond endurance, but is unable to reach Judge Augustus. The state he's in now, he is capable of almost any evil.
But there's nothing we can do until the council meets.
How much longer is that going to be?
Not for at least another half hour.
How about Haru? You said you talked to her last time. Can't we see her again?
I don't know what to say.
Rura, I know you sympathize with us, and I urge you to act. Take me to see Haru.
Hey, what about me? Where do I come in there?
Perhaps if only one of us goes, Rura will not be so reluctant.
Very well.
Come, I'll do my best.
What am I supposed to do, sit here and sweat?
I know it's pretty rough on you, Slats, but it's for the best. I'll come back as quickly as I can. Come, Rora, let's hurry. Every moment counts.
What can Dantro hope to achieve with Haru? Does Gaza really have some evil motive? We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. You will remember that Slats and Dantro forced Gaza to save the life of Judge Augustus, as Marston was about to execute him as an example to the other planets. When they insisted that she act immediately against Marston, she became enraged and forced them to leave the laboratory. Dantro has convinced Rura that she must take him to the leader of the council, that he may report what has happened. Slats, left alone in their quarters, mumbles unhappily to himself.
Yeah, this is great. Wonder how long it's going to take, Dantro. I don't trust that Gaza further than I can see her. She's back in that lab with all those machines, and she can be up to anything. By the time Dantro convinces Haru, it may be too late. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going back there myself and see if I can see what's going on. Yeah, no, I'm sure it's this way. Yeah, there's the gravity drop we took. Oh, gosh, I hate these things. Here goes. Hope I can remember the right floor. Yeah, this is the floor, all right. Let me see. To the left and then right. I better hurry here. Yeah, here's the door. I wonder if I can hear through this door. No, it must be soundproof. Probably locked, too. Well, no, I'm glad I took time to make that electronic circuit on the way out. Shouldn't be too hard to force this lock. Just shove this hunk of wire in here. Yeah, that does it. Now I'll just ease this door open a crack. Hey, who's she talking to? Yeah, I'll open it a little further. That other voice sounds familiar. I know who that is she's talking to. That's Marston. I'm going in there. Hey, she must be talking to him over the communicator. If I can get a little closer, I'll be able to hear what she's saying.
Well, I've been forced by my own council here to cooperate with the two from your solar system.
Are you sure that one of them is Planet Man?
That's what he calls himself.
I wondered what had happened to him. No one would tell me anything. The other one must be that Earthman Flat.
That is exactly who it is.
You're not fooling, lady. It's time I cut this conversation short. I'm going to switch that machine off whether she likes it or not. Gaza!
Who's there?
Not who you expected. It's me, Slats. Turn that machine off.
Stay where you are.
Look, I heard what was going on. You better turn that machine off, you double-crosser.
Don't you call me names.
No, I see you're not satisfied just talking to Marston. You brought his image here in the room. He's ugly, isn't he?
So, this is where you've disappeared to.
Yeah, but the discovery will do you no good, fish face. I'm going to cut that machine. That'll be the end of you.
You will not touch that machine.
Oh, won't I?
What are you doing? Don't throw that. That's it. Don't.
Here, give me that thing.
You're not to be trusted with
Let
weapons.
go of that projectile.
You better let go of it. I never hit a lady in my life, but I will if I have to.
Don't you dare!
Sorry, but here goes. That takes care of you. How to turn off that machine.
Stay where you are, Slat. Don't even turn around.
Are you kidding? I happen to know that a three-dimensional projection can't hit anybody. I walked right through one not so long ago.
You better not try walking through this one.
Don't try to fool me. You're bluffing.
Bluffing, am I? Turn around.
What are you trying to prove? I can see you. Listen, I've seen these things operate before. Sure, I can see you. You're just an image.
Image, am I?
Hey, what's going on? I was certain that a three-dimensional image was not made of solid matter.
You see, Slat, I am not a three-dimensional image.
What are you talking about? What else could it be?
If you had come in a little sooner, you might have realized that Gaza actually transferred me to this laboratory from Planaria Rex with the dimension warper.
You mean you're here in this room? That's actually you standing there talking?
Yes, actually, Marston standing here talking, but not for long.
But you... I don't understand.
What is there to understand? Gaza found her interests more along the lines of Marston's than those of her own people. Just before you interrupted us, we were discussing an alliance. And in a moment we will continue that discussion.
An alliance between you two?
This is enough conversation. Take that water and revive Gaza.
Do your own dirty work, Marston. I wouldn't help her.
You're in no position to refuse, Slat.
That's what you think.
I will give you one more chance. Do as I say. Surely you do not think I am reluctant to destroy you.
You're probably going to do it anyway, so why should I make it easier for you?
If you do not do as I say, I will make it worse for you.
Yeah? How can you make it worse for me?
Have you ever seen a man burn to death slowly with a heat projector?
What are you talking about?
This is a heat projector in my hand. I can control the amount of heat in the beam. If you do not do as I say, I will roast you slowly with it.
You're a nice kid.
Never mind the compliment. Do as I say or you will suffer horribly. If you obey my orders, I will see that you get a quick, painless death.
Thanks, that's some choice.
You had better make it fast.
Okay. This the water over here.
What are you doing?
Didn't think I could throw it this far, did you, huh? Yeah, now I've been waiting for this opportunity for a long time. Take that!
Slat seems to have gotten Marston off balance for the moment. Can he overcome this fiend? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Slat, he was in what appeared to be a fight to the death with Marston, who was transferred from Planaria Rex by Gaza, a would-be cohort of Marston. We find Slat and Marston in a fierce battle.
I've been waiting for this, and I've begun to think it'll never happen. I'll tear this whole place up, and you with it.
You rejected?
Oh, I will. Well, that should hold you long enough for me to get a hold of Dancho. Good thing I didn't wait for him.
Stay where you are.
Guys, forgot about you.
Well, that is unfortunate for you, Earthman. But you'll not live long enough to regret it.
Look, I don't know what you're planning on pulling. You'll never get away with.
Your solicitude touches me. But save it for yourself.
What are you going to do with me? I'll be missed, and sooner or later they'll come here.
Well, let them come. They'll find nothing.
I'm pretty big to hide.
You underestimate me again. They'll find nothing. There'll be nothing to find. I'm going to use a dimension warper to transfer you to the center of our sun. There won't be a trace of you.
Yeah, got it all figured out, huh? What are you going to do with Mr. Ugly here?
I don't mind telling you you're not going to have a chance to repeat it to anyone.
That's big of you.
As you probably heard, Marston and I were talking business.
Yes, I heard.
Well, I think we'll get along very well together.
You're two of a kind, all right.
Well, never mind the humor. I decided on this plan when I saw Haru convince the council to help you and that planet man. Marston and Gaza rule the galaxy. I'm tired of taking orders from Haru. She and this whole planet are soft and spineless. Time they let someone rule who knows how to use power.
You sound just like Marston.
I've wasted enough time. Get over to the dimension warper.
Why should I make it easy for
Get
you?
over there. I'm not going to tell you again.
Listen, if I'm going to die, I might as well make you work. You'll have to drag me over to that machine.
Very well. You want it this way.
You won't live another second.
Yes, so, Haru.
Haru, thank goodness you got here in time.
What happened here? Look at this laboratory. Who is that man?
Wait a minute. Now, let me do the talking. Now, this Gaza
Let
here.
her talk, Slat.
What? Let her talk? Are you kidding? If you listen to her, she...
Trust me, Slat.
Oh, I hope you know what you're doing.
Well, I'm glad you're showing some intelligence. I don't know how well you know this Earthman friend of yours, but he sneaked into the laboratory while I was out. And when I returned, I overheard him making a deal to betray us all with this Marston.
That's enough, Gaza. What? That's ridiculous. She's the one who...
Quiet. Let Gaza speak.
Thank you. It was fortunate I returned when I did. They had apparently almost finished. And this Slats was about to send Marston back to Planaria Rex.
But
When I broke in on them, they attacked me. Fortunately, neither of them was armed. I succeeded in avoiding Slats long enough to overcome Marston with a lucky blow. I was not so fortunate with Slats, as you can see. Struck me several times before I managed to get him covered with my heat projector.
Why didn't you call for help?
There wasn't time. I was just about to when you two arrived.
Have you heard enough, Haru?
Quite enough, Planet Man.
Good. Now I think I'll do us all a service and eliminate the traitor before he can try any more of his foul tricks.
Thundering asteroids, what kind of nonsense is this? You couldn't believe her. You won't even listen to the truth.
Don't make a move, Gaza. Put that projector down. Mrs. Slats, we were listening outside for quite a while.
We know just what actually happened here. We heard everything. You understand what that means, Gaza?
Stop her! She's running toward the dimension walker. Stop, Gaza, stop!
Haru, you killed her.
She deserved a much worse fate than that.
Oh, I was really worried for a minute. Say, what do we do with Marston here? He's coming too.
With your permission, we'll take care of Marston. We have our own way of dealing with these cases.
All right, but watch him.
Don't worry, we will. Guard, treat him. I'll give you detailed instructions later. Don't let him out of your sight.
Come on, Slats. We've got a lot to talk over.
You don't mind if I eat first?
It's just like Slats to be hungry at a time like this. What has Danto accomplished with Haru? We'll be back in a moment, but first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. Dantro, in the nick of time, saved Slats from the evil plans of Gaza and Marston. Now we find Slats, Dantro, and Rura as they are discussing the chain of events.
I guess we should congratulate you, Rura, on being elected a member of the council.
Yeah, should we call you by some kind of title or something?
No, thank you. Just call me Rura. I won't pretend that I'm not very pleased by it, but frankly, the thing that pleases me most is the way you're coming here and everything that's happened since has affected the thinking of the council.
Yeah, I guess it is going to be kind of tough to get used to the idea of men being on the same footing as you gals. You've been running things for so long.
Oh, it's not going to happen that fast, Slats. In the first place, you can't change something that's existed for 1,000 years overnight. And besides that, even if we could, it wouldn't work.
I know what you mean, Rura. A change as sharp as this has to be gradual. You have to give people a chance to get used to the idea a little at a time.
Say, when do we take off for Planaria Rex, Danto?
You're pretty anxious to get back, aren't you?
I certainly am. Why, aren't you?
Well, in a way I am, but still knowing everything's okay, it kind of takes the pressure off.
Hey, now, wait a minute. What are you leading up to? Come on, out with it.
Well, we've been so busy worrying about Marston that we've hardly had a chance to look around in spite of all the light years we've covered.
Yeah, so?
Well, I thought that instead of heading back directly in astral drive all the way, that we might do a little bit of star hopping.
Star hopping?
Well, what would you call it? I mean, to use the astral drive to go from star to star and do a little exploring on the way back. But it's up to you if you'd rather head straight back.
Well, wait a minute. I didn't say I was that anxious. Now that you mentioned it, we didn't get much of a chance to look around. Yeah, that idea intrigues me.
I still don't understand why you don't let me send you both back with the dimension warper. We could send your ship back with a crew of our people later on.
Well, I know it sounds a little foolish, Rura, but the Alpha brought us out here, and it's an old tradition of the League Patrol to bring the ship back as long as it can navigate.
Yeah, it's kind of like the old Earth custom when the ships that sail the oceans. Captain never left the ship as long as it's still afloat. Sometimes they even went on with them when they sank.
Well, I don't suggest carrying it that far, Slats, but I certainly didn't intend to leave the Alpha behind.
Me neither. Brought us through some tight spots. So I wonder how our friend Barrow's doing. Bet he's kind of lonesome.
Well, we'll be seeing him pretty soon, but try to remember, Slats, a robot doesn't have feelings or emotions the way you do.
You'll never convince me he's not human. When are we leaving?
Whenever you're ready.
How about it, Slats?
Whenever you say, Dento.
And with your permission, Rura, we'd like to go back to our ship as soon as we can arrange it.
Very well. I'll put through a call to the laboratory now to ready the dimension warper. We'll send you that way. But before we do, Haru wanted to thank you personally for your braveries and assistance. You know, once we started a check, we found that Gaza had been systematically planning to take over the council for some time. Your coming here forced her hand, and may have avoided the same thing happening here that happened in your planetary league with Marston. Well, come on, she's waiting for you now.
Hey, you know, that Haru certainly turned out to be a nice woman, but I didn't think so when I first met her.
Oh, she's pretty decent. She pretends to be stern, but actually she has a pretty soft heart.
Well, I see you've cleaned up the lab here.
Yes, that fight Slats and Marston had certainly raised havoc with some of our apparatus, but we've got it all repaired.
Hey, there's the dimension warper there.
Yes, and they're ready to transfer you back to your ship anytime you say.
Ready, Slats?
Just say the word.
Step over into the grid.
Over here.
That's right. You too, Dental.
All right.
The machine can take care of the both of you at the same time.
Hey, wait a minute. Are you sure you can put us back aboard the Alpha? It's a mighty small target out there in the middle of space.
Don't worry, Slats. We won't miss.
You do? I'm going to be awful mad.
Me too.
Ready?
Right.
Very well. Contact.
Well, it looks as though our friends are on their way back to the Alpha and their friend Barrow. We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Danto and Slats, they were being transported back aboard the Alpha via the three-dimension warper. We find them now as they check their whereabouts.
Slats, hey, come out of it.
What? Oh, are we back?
Where did you think we were?
For a minute, I wasn't sure. It all happened so fast. Matter of fact, I was kind of worried. In spite of what Ruhr said, I had my eyes closed. I thought we were still back in the lab.
No, we're aboard the Alpha, all right. There's your friend Barrel.
Oh, hiya, Barrel. How's tricks?
Greetings, Slats. You too, Planet Man. Did everything go all right?
That's a long story, Barrel, but it all worked out. How's everything been back here?
Everything has been very quiet aboard the ship. I've been awaiting your return. There were several attempts made to contact you a little while ago from your home system, but I did not answer, for I knew they did not want me, and I could tell them nothing about either of you.
Well, don't worry about that, Barrel. It's all straightened out. We know the whole story. The man that was threatening our people has been taken care of.
Yeah, he sure has been, and I had the pleasure of personally knocking him for a loop.
If it made you happy, then I am sure it must have been all right.
Say, Dento, what are we going to do with Barrel?
Do with me? I do not understand.
Well, you see, Barrel, we're heading back toward our home, and I guess Slats wondered if you'd be coming along with us.
Where else would I go?
Well, that's a good question.
No. My masters told me to stay with you and use all my powers to help you in every way I could. Until that command is altered, I will stay with you.
Well, don't get me wrong, Barrel. I'm glad to have you. Anyway, what we're going to do should be right up your alley.
My alley? What do you mean?
Well, you're an exploring robot, aren't you?
That's the purpose for which I was built.
Well, that's just what we're going to do. You see, here's the story. We're going to take off in about
that's all checked.
How about the leads from the atomic pile?
All tight. No radiation leaks indicated anywhere.
Start leads?
100%.
Well, I guess that does it. Ship's in perfect shape.
Yeah. Guess we're about ready to take off, huh?
We'll never be readier.
What's our first stop?
Well, it's a group of stars about half a light year away on a direct line with our system. I thought we'd make our first jump to that constellation.
Yeah. You been there, Barrow?
No. I checked the star charts with Dantro while you were in the back compartment. Our expedition never touched on that constellation. I can tell you nothing about it.
Well, then it'll be new to all of us. Well, what are we waiting for?
From the way you react to the astral drive slats, I think we'd better wait till you get over on that exhilaration couch and at least sit down.
Right you are.
Here we go. Okay, Slats, you can get up now.
Oh, what a sensation that is. I feel like everything was turned inside out. Funny it doesn't bother you.
Well, I never said it didn't, Slats. It's just that I'm too busy handling the controls to pay much attention to it.
Oh, a hero, huh? Where are we?
Well, come on over and see for yourself.
What's to see?
Wait, I'll cut in the astrogrid detector and we'll see what's in this area of space.
My gosh, it sounds like we really broke something.
No, there are a great many objects in this sector, apparently. We'll have to narrow the scope of the detector and use a directional beam. Want to give me a hand with these? It's a little too complicated to do alone.
Yeah, just tell me what to do.
You operate the directional beam while I vary the length and width of the grid.
All right, ready?
Cut in the beam. Now, let's try a distance about 100 million miles. We'll keep it tight, and it should cover no more than a 3 million mile sweep.
What's the score?
No, in a moment, as soon as our calculator gets a chance to evaluate the results.
Never mind your calculator. I have a short, brief message, an SOS. I'm waiting now to see if it is repeated.
You mean you can get a message from that fleet we left so long ago? They must be light years away.
I am not sure where the message came from. I'm hoping it will be repeated so I can pinpoint its location. If it is, I can approximate its origin, but I am not certain of it.
Can we receive it with our equipment?
No, it would not help to adjust your receivers to the wavelength. If any message is sent, I will receive it.
What did they have to say?
The message merely indicated that the fleet had been attacked.
Attacked? By whom?
It would not indicate who the aggressors were. The ship that sent the message was apparently the only survivor.
You mean your whole fleet was destroyed?
Perhaps. It was not destroyed, but in any event, only one ship left able to communicate.
You say you think you know the approximate location. Would it be precise enough for us to go there?
I believe I have enough data to find the approximate position in space from which the message came.
Well, then what are we waiting for? Let's go.
Barrow's people are in apparent trouble. Can Slats and Danto help them? We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, The Planet Man. Slats, Danto, and Barrel the robot, on the way back to Planaria Rex, received an SOS from Barrel's expedition and decided to go to their aid. The expedition had apparently been attacked by some unknown aggressor. Barrel had just given them the location of the sector of space from which the message came.
The message could only have originated in this cluster of stars. It's the only system within that sector of space.
Very well. We'll plot our course and then head for that area with the astral drive. Shouldn't take us long to get there.
With your permission, I believe I can plot the proper space curve and coordinate more quickly.
Certainly, Barrel. Take over.
Boy, look at him go. He's moved so fast you can hardly see it.
The machine has many advantages over flesh and blood slats. Precision is certainly one of them.
I believe this is it.
Okay, I'll slip this punch card into the automatic navigator and we'll be all set.
You want to operate the controls, Barrel?
No, I would prefer to concentrate on detecting any other messages that my people may send out.
Okay, I'll take the controls.
Hey, I'll stand up this time. If you can take it, Danto, well, I can.
Now who's the hero, Slat?
I might have known you wouldn't forget that.
Stand by to cut astral drive.
Okay, cut it. Hey, I didn't mind it as much as I have before.
Well, see, if you don't pay any attention, you don't notice it as much.
Take your word for it. Where are we?
Just a moment, and I'll check our location on the space grid detector.
All right. Want me to give you a hand?
If you will, you operate the directional beam. The grid indicates some bodies in that quadrant. Better take area 024.
Just a minute, I'll set the dial. Okay, that's it.
Cut in the beam.
It's in.
Here goes the distance and width grid. Watch the screen.
Gosh, look at that screen. It's a weird sight, huh? What is it?
A combination of two normal stars and a white dwarf.
White dwarf? What's that?
Well, it's a dying sun, Slats, one that's lost most of its energy.
How far off are we?
Well, the closest is one of the normal stars. It's about 600 million miles away. We'll check that first, unless Barrel has more specific information.
No, I regret to say that my calculator places the sources of the emergency message definitely in the area around these three stars. I cannot be sure from which specific area it originated.
All right, hang on, Slats. We'll use the astral drive to come in closer to that sun.
Oh, boy, am I floating.
Stand by to cut.
Already? I'm just catching my breath. Gosh, that looks awfully close.
No, we're about 100 million miles off. Let's check the detector and see if this star has any planets.
Yeah, I'll check the screen. Yeah, it shows 3.
We'll run a quick remote analysis first.
All right.
I do not believe your analyzer will indicate any life on any of those 3.
Hey, you're right. It's cold. Nothing.
We'll choose the other normal star. It's the most logical place to find any life. Okay, hit it. Cut it.
Cutting out. Here goes the detector. Hey, no planets are on this one. Where do we go now? What was you call it? The white dwarf?
That's the only one left. Here goes. Cutting out.
I'll check the detector again. Look, 3 planets. You want to check them with the analyzer?
We'll check them all together.
Here comes the tab. Hey, wait a minute. The machine must be out of whack.
Why?
Look for yourself. It indicates no sign of life on any of these planets.
Well, there's nothing wrong with the analyzer and interpreter slats. You know we checked them thoroughly before we took off.
And it doesn't make any sense, unless Barrel's mistaken.
No, I have been checking my analysis while you were investigating those planets. That message originated from this sector of space, definitely.
Well, where does that leave us? There certainly isn't any sign of advanced civilization on any of these planets, or the analyzer would pick it up. Isn't that right, Danto?
I'm afraid it would.
I do not understand it, but I would like to try one more thing.
Why, you got an idea?
As you know, I have a built-in detector and analysis system. It may be that it will pick emanations which your machine might miss if they were faint or deliberately shielded. At any rate, I would like to go outside the ship and see if I can detect any signs of radioactivity from any of these planets.
Suit yourself, Barrel. Maybe you're right.
Very well. I shall not be long.
Barrel is sure he detects some activity in this region. What will his outer ship detector indicate? We'll be back in a moment. So, level off. When we left Danto and Slats, they were aboard the Alpha investigating a group of planets from which Barrel the robot insists there is some indication of activity. We find our friends now as they talk with Barrel, who is outside the ship checking the radioactivity in the area.
Any luck, Barrel?
I believe so.
You get a reading?
My instruments indicate a faint but definite sign of radioactivity emanating from that planet closest to the dying sun.
Do you think it could be some naturally radioactive substance?
No, I am certain it is a form of radioactivity which does not occur in nature. It has been altered as only could be done by some advanced science. I feel certain that it is from some power which has been deliberately screened. Without the advantage of my special construction, it would be almost impossible to detect.
You'd better come in, Barrel. We'll decide what to do.
Well, I think we should get going.
Not so fast, Slats.
What do you mean not so fast? That's what we came here for, wasn't it? Barrel's friends are in some sort of trouble. We came to find out what it is.
We'll find out, Slats, but there's no point in risking everything.
That is very sensible, Planet Man. I was going to suggest that myself.
I wish you two'd let me in on it. What are you talking about?
I believe that Dantro was going to suggest that not all of us descend to the surface of that planet to investigate.
That's exactly what I was going to suggest. I think someone ought to stay here with the ship.
I think you should both stay here with the ship while I go in and investigate the planet.
I think I should go along with you, Barrel. I respect your mechanical abilities, but there are some things which you're not equipped to handle.
Go on, don't anybody ask me. You two guys just settle everything you please yourselves.
It's not a question of pleasing anyone, Slats, but what sense is there risking the Alpha unnecessarily? Barrel and I can take a space launch and land on the planet.
What am I supposed to do meanwhile? Sit here and twiddle my thumbs?
We can navigate the Alpha to within 20 million miles of that first planet.
Look, you can talk all you like, make all the plans you like, but I am not going to stay behind while you two take all the risks.
Now be sensible, Slats. We can't leave the ship alone. We don't know what's down on that planet. It certainly doesn't make sense to put all of our irons in the fire at once.
Okay, I know when I'm outvoted, but there's one condition.
Well, what's that?
You keep in touch with me every minute. The first sign of trouble, I'm coming in after you.
That's just what you're not going to do, Slats. We'll keep contact with you, but if for some reason the contact's broken, you head back for Rura's planet as fast as you can.
Well, you mean not only do you want me to sit here when it's safe, but turn my back when there's trouble? What kind of guy you think I am?
Don't forget, Slats, that Barrel's whole exploring party disappeared somewhere around here. There were 10 ships, almost as well armed and equipped as the Alpha. Whatever eliminated them must still be here. I want you to go back and get help. If you bring the Alpha in, we may never get off alive.
All right. Just be careful, that's all. Now, we better get some kind of an emergency signal just in case. If they can screen signs of radioactivity, they may be able to screen any signal you might beam at me.
That's good thinking, Slats. I believe we have a supply of emergency space flares on board the launch. If there's any sign of danger, I'll send one up and you head back to Rura.
I'm not promising.
Slats, that's an order.
All right, don't throw your weight around.
Now help me into my space armor.
Right.
Let's go, Barrel.
Hey, I'm going to follow you two from in here with a tight beam, Danto. Keep your communicator open so we can keep in constant contact.
I'll do that, Slats. Stand by the communicator.
I'll stand by. But I don't like this one little bit.
Here we go. Space launch away. Well, Barrel, we're coming in. Certainly doesn't look very encouraging.
No, the planet seems totally devoid of life. I can't make out any details. The light is very faint, but there seems to be no large cities of any sort.
Well, we'll be down in a few minutes, and then we should know better. I'll give Slats the buzz. Hello, Dantro calling Slats aboard the Alpha. Dantro calling Slats aboard the Alpha.
Hello, Slats calling Danto. Do you hear me, Danto? Come in. Oh, why doesn't he answer? He promised he'd keep the communicator open. He knows how I hate to sit here. Hello, Slats calling Planet.
Danto and Slats obviously want to contact each other, but something seems to be interfering. What force can this be? We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dan Troll, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dan Troll, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dan Troll, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. Dantro, Slats, and the robot Barrel were heading back toward Planaria Rex when Barrel picked up an SOS from his exploring party. The Alpha went to aid them, and Slats was left aboard the ship while Planet Man and Barrel set out to land on an apparently barren planet. Suddenly, Slats loses contact.
Dantro, this is Slats aboard the Alpha. Come in, Dantro. What are you up to? Come in, Dantro. Well, you promised to keep in constant contact. Hello, Planet Man. Come in. Hello, this is Slats aboard the Alpha.
Hello, Slats. This is Dantro aboard the space launch calling the Alpha. Come in, Slats. He doesn't answer. Do you suppose anything has happened to him?
I rather think it's us that something has happened to.
What do you mean? Our set seems to be in working order.
That is not the trouble. Something has caused this planet to be surrounded by a wave trap. That is why we could detect no signs of activity or radiation. We have come within the area of the trap, I believe.
I better warn Slats. He'll think we're in trouble. I promised to keep in touch with him.
I don't know what can be done.
Perhaps we'd better get back to the Alpha.
I cannot, of course, tell you what to do. It might be best if you returned in the launch. As you know, I am equipped with propulsion devices which will enable me to continue alone if you will permit me to. I must find out what has happened to my people.
No, Barrel. I promise to help, and I will. If only I could get through to Slats. Hello, Slats. Slats. Can't you hear me? Hello, Slats.
Dantro, hello, Dantro. Come in, Dantro. Oh, that's just great. What do I do now? Wait for him to send up that rocket and then scoot back to Aurora like a scared rabbit? Besides, how do I know he'll get the chance to send up that rocket? He may be captured or killed. I'll try to pick the launch up on the detector again. Hey, is that the launch? No, it's just a meteor or some spatial disturbance. They couldn't have landed yet. But there's no sign of that launch. Well, something's sure gone haywire, and the worst part of it is I just have to sit here.
Have you decided what you will do?
We'll head back to the Alpha, tell Slats why he's been unable to contact us, and then I promise to come back with you, Barrel.
Very well, Planet Man, as you say, but it may not be as easy as you think. The launch is about to lose power.
The controls won't work. The launch won't come about either. We're being drawn down. I'll try the power unit in the nose of the launch. At least we can check the drop. The power comes on, but the launch continues to drop toward the planet. What's causing it, Barrel? Can you tell?
Well, it is as I feared. We are caught in a magnetic field that surrounds this planet. It is too strong for any ship to resist. Whether we want to or not, Planet Man, we are going to land on that planet.
I'll try to turn the launch again. It looks like we're going to crash.
I think we had better prepare for a crash landing. I will be all right. I am built to take such an impact. But you had better cushion the shot, or your spacesuit may suffer irreparable harm. Here, let me help you pile these recoil couches against a forward bulkhead. That may act as a sufficient cushion.
Well, it had better. I don't understand what's behind this. If it is space piracy, they wouldn't wreck the ship until they had the cargo. Besides, why would they bother with the launch and leave the Alpha sitting out there?
Perhaps their trap cannot reach that far.
But if they let us come in, they might still get the Alpha.
We are going in quite close now. The light is dim, but the surface of the planet is almost visible.
Altimeter reading is only 50 miles. In our rate of fall, we should hit the surface in a few minutes.
You had better get ready.
Very well, I will. But if I don't survive the crash, be sure to send up that flare and warn Slats away.
Don't worry, I shall.
30 miles. 20 miles, 10 miles, 5 miles, 4 miles, 2 miles, 1 mile.
Dantro and Barrel have crash-landed on an unknown planet. What caused this unaccountable turn of events? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Dantro and Barrel, they were crash-landing their space launch on an unknown planet. It was from this area that Barrel had some radiant contact, which led them on this expedition. We find them now as Barrel is reviving Dantro, who was knocked unconscious in the crash.
Planet Man, can you hear me?
Is my spacesuit all right?
I checked it while you were unconscious. It shows no damage. How are you? Are you injured?
Well, I'm not sure. Help me to my feet. Check. There are times when I envy you your indestructible construction, Barrel. I ache all over, but there doesn't seem to be anything broken.
That is fortunate. If you were injured, I could do little to help. My skills do not include medicine.
Where are we, Barrel? Where's the space launch?
Back that way.
How'd we get here?
I carried you here while you were unconscious. I thought it best to leave the vicinity of the launch immediately. Whoever made us crash will sooner or later come to see what their trap has caught, and I did not want to be there when they arrived.
That was good thinking, Barrel. You were right. Oh, wait, what about Slats? Flares are aboard the launch. We have to warn him off. Come, Barrel, we have to get back to the launch at once.
Not so fast, Planet Man. I have several flares all set here. I brought them along.
Good. Let's get one up quickly.
As you direct, but we had better be prepared to move on again. No point in telling whoever it is where we are. As it is, the flare will warn them that we survived the crash.
I realize that, Barrel, but we have to take the chance. Send it off.
Here it goes.
I hope you're looking, Slats. Say, I just realized. I can hear exterior sounds, the swish of that rocket flare, and the whine of atmosphere as the space launch came in. Is the atmosphere breathable? I mean, for me?
I would not suggest it. The constituents are right. Hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide. But the air is terribly thin. I doubt that you would live without your suit for more than a few minutes. Besides, the temperature is well below your zero.
I'll keep my suit and helmet on, then. Come on, we'd better get away from here.
I'm going to wait 1 minute more, and then I'm taking the Alpha in. Orders or no, I just can't let them disappear and do nothing. Wait a minute. What's that? The flare. They're in trouble, all right. Now what? Turn and run for help from Rura? Isn't that dandy? Run to a bunch of women to come and fight my battle for me. No, I won't do it. Yeah, who am I kidding? I promised and I'll do it. But I hate this running. Well, I might as well get it over with. I'll cut it on the drive as soon as I can get the course into the automatic. Wait a minute. Look at that detector grid. Ships. Lots of ships all around me. Where'd they come from? Well, maybe they're Barrel's friends. No, they're strange ships. I better get a protective screen around the Alpha fast. Hey, now let's see what they want. Hey, cut that out! Why, that he tried to ray me. If I hadn't slapped that force screen around the ship, he'd have burned me right out of space. Hey, cut it out. Now they're all in the act. Yeah, it's a good thing the Marty installed one of their protective screens in the Alpha before we left. Oh, one never would have held a fire 6 ships. Better step up the screen. They're trying something else new. Sonic disruptors. I hope that screen holds. Atomic missiles. They aren't leaving anything out. Who the heck are they? What do they want to blast the Alpha for? I don't get it. I've got enough. Okay, you guys, we'll see how you can take it for a change. I'll nail that one with a disruptor. Yeah, I got him. Now who's smart? That makes the odds a little better, huh? Look at them pour it on. Oh, brother, how I love that protective screen. I can't take much of that. Better knock off a few more if I can. I'll try one of our space missiles on them. Here it comes, brother. Bam! Look at that baby explode. Well, that leaves 4. Now, I'll see if I can make it 3. Ha, ha! Ah, they got enough. Look at them go. Go on! Run, you yellow coward! You were pretty brave when you thought you had a sitting duck, weren't you? Come on back here and fight. I dare you to come back.
What reason would anyone have for doing a thing like this to us, Barrel? It couldn't be piracy.
We will probably find out quickly enough, Planet Man.
Have you detected any signs of activity yet?
Only the faintest. I wish we had some means of traveling faster. We could use my propulsion units.
Hey, that gives me an idea. Why didn't you carry me?
If you would allow it, I didn't want to offend you by suggesting it, but we could move much more quickly.
Offend me? Don't worry about that. I want to find out what this is all about. Ready?
Here we go.
This is certainly better than walking. Hey, Barrel. Barrel, look down there.
Ships, thousands of them.
That's right. A graveyard of spaceships. Let's go down.
A graveyard of spaceships. What will Danto and Barrel find there? What does this mean? We'll be back in a moment, but first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro the Planet Man fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. Dantro and Barrel, with their space launch wrecked on the strange planet, have just discovered a graveyard of spaceships. Slats, waiting aboard the Alpha out in space, having successfully warded off the attack of a fleet of strange ships, debates his next move with himself.
Now what? Do I sit here and wait, go in for a land and look for Dantro, or obey orders and run for help? Run is right. I promise, yeah. What kind of a guy'd I be to leave Barrel and Dantro in the lurch? Well, I guess I haven't got much choice. Told Dantro I'd keep the bargain. Well, better get the astronavigator set for the Mardi's planet. The quicker I get there, the sooner I'll get there, and the sooner I'll get back with help. I'll just slip the card into the autopilot and cut in the astral drive. Yeah. Well, at least the drive works. Ought to be at the Mardi soon. Can't be very far from their sector of space. Let's see here. Where am I? Let's take a reading here. Hey, wait a minute. Now, what's going on here? The drive is full on, but the space grid locator shows I'm right where I was. I'll cut the drive and see for myself. There must be some mistake. Oh, no. Mistake is right. Exactly where I was when I cut the drive in. Now, what's wrong? Hey, my little friends are back, and they brought reinforcements. Staying well out of range, though. Yeah, they better. Well, if they leave me alone, I'll leave them alone. Go on, watch, you yellow bellies. Let's try the normal drive. And nothing happened. I'm trapped. Same way we were by the Marty, only then nothing worked. Now everything works, but nothing happens. Wonder if I head toward the planet? Yeah, I'll try it. Yeah, that works all right. Better cut it before I get in much closer. I'll try heading back out again. Maybe the trouble's only temporary. Trapped. That's what I am, trapped. Only way I can go in is toward that planet. Must be what happened to Dantro and Barrel on the space launch. Well, I'm not close enough to be pulled in, and I better stay where I am. Yeah, that's just great. Now I can't obey orders even if I want to. Look at those other ships just sitting there waiting for me to give up. Give up? You wait a long time, you rotten vultures. I'll sit here for 100 years before I give you the satisfaction of quitting. Oh, if only they'd come a little closer.
Well, here we are. This is the strangest sight I've ever seen. Well, there must be thousands of ships scattered around us. Dead, barren hulks.
They are hulks, all right, Planet Man. Look, some of them have already corroded. Do you know how long it takes metal that can withstand the enormous cold and heat of space to rust?
What do you mean that some of these ships have been here that long?
What else could explain it? For untold centuries, this planet has been trapping any ship unwary enough to come within the pull of its field.
But why? All of these ships seem damaged. None have been repaired.
Who can tell? But all of these ships have been deliberately drawn to their deaths.
Come on, let's look around. Perhaps we'll find some clue to what this is all about. Hey, look over there. Isn't that one from your party, one of the Tazor fleet?
You are right. Hurry, let us investigate.
Just like all the rest. Wrecked, stripped of all equipment, deserted. What do you suppose happened to the crew?
I cannot begin to imagine, but you will notice that the spacesuits are gone.
Well, that proves nothing. These ships are stripped of everything, including spacesuits. Are you thinking they might have escaped and be about somewhere?
Something like that, but I guess it is a vain hope. They would have revealed themselves by now.
True, but then they may be somewhere else. All of these ships could not have crashed in the one place. They must have been brought here by whomever is behind this foul business.
That is what I find so difficult to understand. There must be some center of civilization on the planet. A science advanced enough to carry out this wrecking over the centuries would have machines, engines, something which would give off emanations my sensors would detect. But I can feel only the faintest signs, not enough to even begin to guess at its origin.
Well, let's get on with our exploration. I don't know what good it will do, but there's not much else we can spend our time at. Slat should be back with Rura's fleet. They may even pluck us off the planet with the dimension warper.
If the inhabitants do not find us first.
We'll just have to be careful if they don't. At least we were smart enough to leave Slats out in space with the Alpha, where he could go for help.
I wonder.
About what? About Slats? Oh, he'd follow orders. He wouldn't like it, but he must have seen that flare. He'd do as he promised.
If he could.
Now, stop playing games, pal. What are you getting at?
I was just wondering if he might not be trapped out there as surely as we are here. You see, I detect the presence of some life force in this immediate area.
Where? From which direction?
All around us. Whoever they are, we're surrounded by many.
Well, pretend we're unaware of them. I want to see if they stop us.
What can this radiation be that is affecting Barrel? Can Dantro plan some defense against it? We'll be back in a moment. So level off. When we left Dantro and Barrel, they were investigating a strange area filled with wrecked spaceships. While doing this, Barrel's radiation equipment picked up some activity waves, telling them they were being watched. We find Dantro and his robot friend as they are looking around and trying not to let on they suspect this new contact.
They move with us as we move, but come no closer.
They're watching us, waiting for us to make some move. Look, someone in a spacesuit. Wait, don't move. He's got us covered with some kind of a weapon.
He cannot harm me. My cell is impervious to any known weapon. Besides, in this magnetic field, I doubt if any ray or disruptor would work.
This is neither a ray nor a disruptor. It hurls a pellet of metal with an explosive charge, and it will work. Perhaps not on you, Robert, but it'll penetrate the space armor of your friend, I assure you.
Well, he's got a pistol.
Didn't think they were still in use anywhere but on Earth. Never mind the discussion on weapons. Who are you? What are you doing here in the cemetery? That's a good name for it, the cemetery. I was about to ask you the same question. I have the gun, and I'll ask the questions. And don't try any tricks. You're surrounded. And if you were lucky enough to dispose of me before I could pierce your suit, my friends would quickly even the score. My name is Dantro, the Planet Man. I and my friend Barrel here had our ship drawn to the surface of this planet by some unknown force. It was wrecked, and here we are. But you know that very well, for it was you and your people who wrecked us. Where are you from? What's your home planet? Your sector of the universe? I will tell you no more unless you tell me who you are and why we've been treated like this. We meant no harm. We came in search of a party of explorers of the Tazors, whose fleet was last heard from in this sector of the universe. The Tazors? Are you telling the truth?
Planet Man does not lie. Look at me. I am a robot of the Tazors. It was I who detected their emergency message and led my friends into this trap. If you have any quarrel, pick it with me.
Just a moment. Stay where you are. I'll be right back. And don't try to escape. You're surrounded.
We'll stay put. There doesn't seem to be any place to go.
There is something strange here.
Well, how do you mean? This whole place is strange.
I mean in the life force emanating from around us. It all varies as though it came from different types of life.
I wonder. That might explain...
Indeed, it does explain. My apologies, but we could take no chances.
Look, they're coming in closer to us. Why, they must be 50 different types of sentient life represented.
Look, there is a member of my race, a Tazor.
Yes, your race, Robot. If a robot can't have a race. And just about every other race of thinking, advanced culture in the galaxy. Like the ships around you, we come from every corner of space to be wrecked on this planet of dead ships.
Then these are all survivors?
All of us. And I am Sakro, their chosen leader. Sakro of Plas, 10 light years away.
And who's behind this wrecking if not you?
Follow me to our headquarters and I'll explain. It's not far from here.
Well, then, some of you have been here for almost a century.
Some of us longer than that, Planet Man.
And in all that time, have you ever seen those behind this?
Many times, from a distance. They are the remnants of a dying race, like Rocco there, an insect culture. As their sun has died, they have burrowed deeper and deeper in the crust of their planet until now their city lies many miles beneath the surface.
Have you ever tried to escape?
We've worked and dreamed of nothing else, but there's no chance.
Well, where are the others? You're just a handful, and there must be thousands in the crews of these ships.
Down below, slaves of the insect people.
Slaves?
Slaves, willing slaves. Perhaps they're smart, for they don't have to hide as we do here in the cemetery. They work for the insect people and live out their lives in comparative comfort. We here are almost ready to surrender.
How can you talk of surrender?
Wait until you've been here a while. You'll change. Wait and see.
Who are these insect people of whom the group in the spaceship cemetery speak? What course is left open to Dantro? We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man.